Hello, everyone. I'm that one nerd, Jacob.
And I'm that one Scout Collins.
And welcome back to Those Nerds on a Podcast, where today Caleb had the idea to read through the Am I the Asshole subreddit, one of the few good subreddits on Reddit. Depending on where you go on Reddit, you're either in one of the worst places of the internet or one of the best places of the internet.
Ah, Reddit, you spicy cesspool of idiocy and degeneracy.
But also, where I find half of my recipes.
You know, I get my recipes from the strangest places sometimes.
What's the strangest place you've ever found a recipe?
Collective of iFunny.
Yeah.
And then two videos later, it was a kid getting shot in the head by a cartel member. Anyway,
of course. Anyway. So, I'm just sorting by hot, because whenever I sorted by top this month, legit all of them were "you're not the asshole," so I'm just like, that doesn't make it fun. So all of the ones that I'm seeing right now have not been tagged for anything yet, so I think it's still open for discussion whether or not these people are the asshole or not. And then, do you have any open, or am I just gonna be reading these?
Let me check.
Okay.
I had a tab, but I might have lost that tab.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, yeah, I got Am I the Asshole? I just sorted mine by new.
Okay, so I'm sorting by hot, which is kind of like popular of the day, and then you're sorting by new, which means, oh man, you might be the one finding the cesspool shit. Alright, I'll start it off so we hopefully get a more tame one. Let's see. I want to start off with... Never mind, that's really long. I know these are all going to be long, but... Alright. This one's even longer, but the title gripped me.
Alright, go ahead.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister she should listen to the therapist who told her to wait for a few more years and live apart? Alright, so my sister and her kids have been going to therapy for the past 4 months. My sister lost her husband 3 years ago and started dating again 2 years ago. Now she's engaged to a guy, Kev, and he's living with her and the kids. The kids are 11, 8, and 7. My sister had this idea that the kids would be crazy about Kev and would be so excited to have another man around, and that they'd think of him as another dad figure / second dad / bonus dad, or however people prefer to title it. Kev does seem like a pretty decent guy from what I know of him. But I also know that older two kids remember their dad really well. He was actually the SAHP. Oh, stay-at-home parent, I think is what that means.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he was actually the stay-at-home parent in the relationship. And the youngest, despite being 4 when his dad died, also has some memories of him. So it's not easy for them to accept Kev being there. The kids pulled back from the sister after she told them she was dating someone, and they were very closed off when closed off with Kev when they finally met. Despite this, they moved in together and got engaged. My sister decided they needed therapy together because the kids would try to stay out of the way after Kev moved in. They weren't enthusiastic about time with her or with Kev. If they weren't at a friend's house or playing outside, they would hold up in their rooms. My sister tried coaxing them out, but she knew they were just not interested, and so she started going to therapy with them to figure stuff out. Oh boy, don't worry, just like 3 more paragraphs left. It became clear in therapy, though, the kids opening up, and my sister had to leave the room for this to happen, that they are having a hard time with their mom being with Kev. All 3 kids said they'd rather be left behind than brought forward the way their mom is moving forward. They're also very fearful that Kev will be as involved as, They're fearful that Kev will be involved? What the fuck? They're fearful that Kev will be as involved as their dad, and they don't want that. They don't want him being their parent or taking care of them. After maybe 3 months of therapy, my sister was told by the therapist that her recommendation would be for her and Kev to live separately and not get married for a few more years, and for her to focus on her role as the kid's mom. She told her it would be better for the kids. She also told her it would be easiest for them and Kev to have a friendly and maybe even close friendship in the future. My sister really didn't like hearing this. She vented to me about it twice, and then she asked me what she should do, and she told me she really wanted to hear my thoughts. So I told her I thought she should listen to the therapist because I agreed with what she said. She asked me why I brought up some of the She asked me why, and I brought up some family friends we've had since childhood, where the dad remarried after his wife died, and the kids from the first marriage felt it was too fast and are very distant from the family today. I told her I would hate to see that happen with her and the kids. She was upset hearing this from me. Then she got mad and told me I should encourage her to follow her heart on this. Am I the asshole?
Okay, you want my actual fucking...
Let's just tear into these people if they deserve to be torn into. Like,
All
let's
right.
call it like it is.
Gloves off, Caleb. This
So
is
first of all, is the person saying they should listen to the therapist the asshole?
No! You asked them for their opinion, and then you got mad when they gave it. Don't ask me, what do you think about this? And then when I give you what I have to say, you go, well, you're just an asshole.
So
the fucking mom's the asshole in this situation.
I agree. So as someone with a deceased parent, obviously now I want my dad to try to be able to find someone and be happy with. But the first couple of years, it felt awkward whenever my dad would even so much as bring up that he was going out with another woman. My dad, especially my early childhood, worked pretty much 24 hours a day to make sure that the kids were well provided for. So I didn't really get to see my dad. Obviously, as a kid, I didn't appreciate what he was doing at the time because I was like, oh, he doesn't want to see us. No, he was wanting to make sure that we could live the happiest life possible. And like, I really commend him for that now. But after my mom died, he started talking about women like 3 years later. And I was like, no, don't do that. And, you know, again, now I'm just like, oh, yeah, I was stupid. Obviously, he needs to be happy. But also, like the therapist said, the kids have to get used to there being another parental figure in their lives. Like, they're not just going to immediately be like, you're my dad. That's not how it's going to work, ever.
Never how that works, ever.
Like, can they eventually consider someone else like a father? Absolutely. I've seen that happen with plenty of families where either they got divorced or, again, one of the parents passed away for one reason or the other. So I've seen it happen, but also they set boundaries with each other first. They didn't get engaged like less than a year in and move in together. Like they made sure there was some time for everyone to kind of assess the situation going on around them and then be like, hey, I feel that everyone's comfortable enough with it. Now let's go ahead and move in together.
Not to mention that if the dude coming in is coming in, he's gonna have to be a parent eventually. Because if a kid misbehaves in front of him and he just sits there, that's not a functioning parent.
It's not.
You're just a dude. You're just a dude. And I don't know. I feel like with this woman especially, she's trying. It'll be good to have a male figure around. I'm like, oh, you want somebody to come in and be a dad for these kids. That's what that means. That's what that means in women's speak.
I also feel like another thing it could be is like she was so devastated losing what might have been the love of her life. She felt like a piece was missing and tried to fill that by going out and getting another man. Like.
She should just explain, listen, kids, he's got a magnum dong, and I need you to be on board with this.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think the general consensus from both of us here is this person's not the asshole. And then I want to read the first 3 top comments, not going super in depth, but just kind of seeing what the general consensus is. So the first person says, not the asshole, always be honest and direct. It seems like your sister wanted affirmation from the therapist. The kids needed to accept the situation. So there's that. Not the asshole. Telling people what they want to hear is far more damaging than telling them what you truly think. Agreed. And then last one, not the asshole. You can't sincerely solicit someone's real opinion, then get upset and mad it's not what you wanted to hear. That's bonkers. So, again, pretty general consensus. This person is not the asshole. So, congratulations to Longshop6638. You're not an asshole. And also, you need to get a better username. Anyway, what do you got, Caleb?
I got one that's 4 paragraphs long.
You know what? Mine was about 4 paragraphs, and we wound up getting through all of it in about 8 minutes, so I think we're fine.
Am I the asshole for not going to my stepdaughter's birthday because they disinvited my son?
Ooh.
My fiance, male 33, and I, female 34, have been together for 5 going on 6 years. I was there for him for his drug addiction and raised his daughter while he was in jail and homeless in rehab. I have a son from a previous relationship, 15 male, and we have a son together, 2 male. This last weekend was his daughter's 13th birthday, and the day before he messaged me to say that his daughter doesn't want my son at her birthday because her boyfriend is coming. My son and her boyfriend get along very well, and she feels like she will be left out. No! Victim to the bros! So I messaged my fiance and said I would stop by and give her her gift, but I'm not staying as my son was excited about seeing his sister on her birthday, and he was sad that he wasn't invited anymore. My fiance then got angry that I was making a huge deal out of it, saying she's allowed to have whoever she wants at her birthday, which I agree she has every right, just as I have every right to not show up because my son was upset about being uninvited. He knows I will always have his back. His mom called me to find out what was happening, and I told her what he had said. She told me that his daughter never said that she didn't want her brother there and that we must come, but I said no because my son was upset. I did not tell my son that my fiance was the person who uninvited him, but he figured it out and asked me if it was my fiance, not his sister, who didn't want him around. I ended up taking my son to the movies and the arcade, but when he saw his sister at the mall, he decided he didn't want to stay any longer and we left. Am I the asshole for being upset about this whole situation?
No! Okay, listen. Okay, so what's the final consensus? Was it the stepdaughter or the stepfather that didn't want the kid to come?
It sounds like it's both.
Okay.
It sounds like stepdaughter told her dad, and then her dad said it to him, and then she told our author, and then when our author got a call from somebody, she's like, no, she said she never said that, because who would think that a teenage girl would lie?
Oh man, teenagers lying? No way. All right, so I want to start off by saying the author is not the asshole. The stepdaughter, the step-husband, what the fuck? Whatever, the father-in-law, those are the assholes because, one, the stepdaughter's reasoning is so fickle. Oh, they're really close friends, and I want my boyfriend to give me all the attention, not one of his friends. That is petty ass bullshit. And like, I get it. It's said in the post she's 13. 13-year-olds just think like that. But at the same time, you have to teach someone like, hey, that kind of stuff is not okay to, say. If you're afraid that you're not going to get attention, try to find a way to fit into their conversation. Like, you don't have to outright be like, you can't come because I want to be macking on my boyfriend. And also, I get the whole issue of like step siblings, right? Step siblings, you're not completely related, so you don't have to act like you're related. Most of my family, actually all of my family, all of my brothers and sisters are half brothers or half sisters. I am the only product of my mom and my dad. So while it may not be a situation of stepbrother and stepsister, we still viewed each other all as equal, as a regular brother or a regular sister. Again, I know that not every kid can do that. That's really hard. But growing up, that's kind of what you realize you have to do. Whether you like a sibling or not, you're siblings now. And now realizing this makes me realize how petty my family is with each other, because they don't invite each other to things like nieces and nephews' birthday parties, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Oh my god. Oh my, is this my family? No. But yeah, the author's not the asshole.
That's good. You got another one? I don't think.
Oh, do you not have your opinion on this?
You pretty much said it all, man.
Okay. Fair. All right. Let me scroll a little bit. Ooh. All right. This one's 4 long paragraphs.
Ooh.
All right. Am I the asshole for never asking my wealthy in-laws to invite my siblings or immediate family on our big vacations?
Ooh.
My wife and I have been married for about 8 years now. I had a pretty generic middle-class upbringing, while her family was considered old money. I have no idea how much wealth they actually have, but it's multi-generational, and needless to say, they'll never worry about money. They never give us cash outright, but for each of our kids' births, they set aside $100,000 in an interest-bearing account for their colleges, and they have been extremely generous with the vacations they've taken us on. My wife and I both have pretty good jobs, and while we have the security of knowing if we ever need it, they'd help us, we are able to support our not very fancy lifestyle ourselves. This July, we're going on a trip with our kids and her family, including the nuclear families of her 2 siblings and then a few family friends of theirs. MIL and FIL, man in...
Mother-in-law and father-in-law.
Oh, I was thinking man in love and female in love. I'm like, what the fuck? All right.
I mean, technically, but...
yeah. So they're paying for everything, including the flights, villa we're staying at, and various meals and activities. This will be the 5th vacation like this they've taken us on, not including our honeymoon they paid for. They paid for your honeymoon? Jesus Christ. I never imagined being this close to that kind of wealth before, but I have to say they've been nothing but welcoming and generous with me. Even offering me high-paying jobs I probably don't deserve, and offering to pay for my grad school if I choose to go. My sister recently asked me what my summer plans were and if I had any trips. I told her about this one, and she got noticeably annoyed/jealous. She asked me why I've never asked about inviting her and her family, since other friends of the family get invited often to these big trips. Some have had 10 to 20 non-family members there that they hosted/paid for. To be honest, I never even thought about asking to include my relatives in that. But I feel like that'd come off as a little greedy, so I just don't. I told her that, and she thinks I'm just being selfish. I think a lot of it is just jealousy, which I can understand, because she's complained about never being to Europe, and it's splurging for her to just go on a regional vacation. I do feel like that is kind of totally unrelated to my situation, though. Am I the asshole?
No. Because you're not the one that's paying for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot just invite somebody. This would literally be me going, this would literally be you going, hey Caleb, I got 3 tickets to go to SmackDown Live in Oklahoma City. It's gonna be you, it's gonna be me, and it's gonna be Tristan. We're gonna get the gang back together, man. And then for some reason I show up and Charity's fucking there.
Yeah.
September
27th, by the way. That's when SmackDown's coming to Oklahoma City.
But just imagine. It's just like, can Charity come? It's like, do you got accompanying money?
Yeah.
It's like, you cannot expect for your brother-in-law's family to pay for a vacation for you to come along. That is completely asinine.
Yeah, I agree. The author here is definitely not the asshole. So the author is married to the daughter. That's why he's
Yeah.
being invited to these things. He is now considered family.
By the way, good catch there, brother. Married into wealth? Yeah.
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 But yeah, like he's married to her. Of course he's going to go to their family things. Now, I will say him having never brought it up is kind of dickish, but I wouldn't say that's something that would immediately outright classify him as an asshole in this entire situation.
I think it would be a dick. I think it would be a dick move if I just texted Evan, "Hey, here's a cool thing I'm doing. See ya."
Well, see, I wouldn't even outright say it like that, but like, does this imply that the guy never talks to his family about what him and his wife are doing or anything like that? Like, I'm probably digging and reading way too deep into this, but at the surface level, which is just, I'm going on vacation once a year with my wife's family. Why did, oh, fucking OBS just froze. Oh, nope, it's back. It's back. We're good. We're good. I'm going on vacation with my wife and her family, and that's all there is to it. Like, if it's a family vacation, and say you were visiting to Oklahoma, and you found out that me, my dad, and Summer were going to like wherever the nicest resort in Oklahoma was. And
You guys going down the Arkansas River and those floats and shit, and it's a really fun time.
Like, I consider you family, right? Like, at this point, we're brothers, you know?
Yeah.
There's no changing that. So that would be like me saying, oh, hey, me, my dad, and Summer are going on this thing, and we already have everything paid for, and then you show up because that's also the week you're visiting Oklahoma, and you're like, well, where the fuck was my invite, bro? Where the fuck was my invite? One of those dudes that walks around high school, where my Hogan? That's actually, no, that's what this guy's sister is reminding me of now. One of those dudes that walks around high school, one of the seniors that goes up to the incoming freshman, yo, where my Hogan? That's what that reminds me of.
God damn.
But yeah, so not the asshole, and you know, all the top commenters seem to agree. I do feel like it is kind of totally unrelated to my situation, though. Correct, your vacations are not your problem to solve. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your sister is just jealous and overstepping.
Me, you guys get vacations?
I mean, yeah, no, I feel the same way. If you guys do wind up getting to visit Oklahoma, that's going to be my vacation, and that's not even a vacation. That's going back to my dad's house for a weekend.
Yeah!
But yeah, so not the asshole. yes. Thank you for posting Candid P9631. I swear to God, some of these people make Reddit accounts just to post on here, and then they never post again.
This one is from Repulsive Soup 1399.
Yes, already not the asshole.
Am I the asshole for kicking my broke parents out of the house?
Oh.
You were saying?
Let's hear what he has to say.
Okay, I'm 20 years old and live in a 2-room apartment. One of those rooms is my room, and the other one is a kitchen/main room. Since my parents lost their jobs last year, I offered for them to stay in my apartment until they found another job. My parents sleep on the floor of the kitchen/main room. When my parents and I finish up dinner, we socialize for a couple of hours and then head off to bed. My parents usually go to sleep at around 10:30 to 10:45, while I usually stay up until 12:15. My dad keeps complaining about how my TV is too loud, even though it's at a 15 volume. I thought this was rather odd, but I complied with him and turned it down to about a 5 volume. He still kept complaining, and I kept telling him I kept telling him back that it wasn't that loud. Hell, I went over where I slept, laid down, and couldn't even hear a thing, just the slightest of mumbling. His bright idea was to unplug my router and not give it back, even in the morning or after work. I told him it's my house and I bought that router and Wi-Fi here. and you have no right to take it from me. He responded back with, I am your father. I control this house, which is obviously not true because I own the damn place. My mom didn't help me out. Hell, she made it worse. She was defending my father and pushing me whenever I tried to take it from him. This has been going on for about 3 days already, and I decided to kick both of them out. I told them to pack their stuff and go, but both of them said they had full authority over me and that I can't kick them out because I'm still their child. I called the cops on them and got them trespassed from my apartment complex. Over the past couple of days, they've been texting me of how selfish I am and how oversensitive I am about everything. Is this true? Am I the asshole?
All right. So it went from you're not the asshole to just hearing the title, you're the asshole, and now I'm back on the you're not the asshole. Listen. I think it is a commendable thing if your parents lost their job, you let them live with you. That is, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, they should be grateful and they should put up with everything. Like, yeah, some ground rules should be set from the get-go, but your dad straight up unplugging the router because he has way too sensitive of hearing is not okay. Them sitting there and being like, oh, well, you're still our kid. Like, I'm just imagining this is some 30-year-old dude just trying to live in his apartment, trying to catch up.
He's 20 years old.
Okay, well, still, that is an adult. Once you are over 18, you are an adult. If you still lived with your parents, then yes, different story. If you are under their roof, you are under their rules. But this is the 20-year-old's apartment. I don't give a damn if that's his parents. I feel bad for the parents for the situation that they're in, but you can't go into somebody else's property and be like, oh, well, I run everything here. You're just a bitch. Like, I'm kind of surprised that the dad wasn't like, get your ass on the floor. I'm getting the fucking bed. You get to sleep on the floor in this place that you pay the bills for while I'm not even working. Motherfucker, what? Like, don't get me wrong, if my dad had to move in suddenly, I'd offer him our bed and then me and Summer would sleep on an air mattress in the stream room. I have no problem with that. But I also don't think my dad would try to immediately take control of everything as if he was the one paying the bills.
This sounds like a straw that finally broke the camel's back from Dad's bullshittery, because he said, since my parents lost their jobs last year, I offered them to stay in my apartment, which means probably for a full fucking year, Dad has been on a tirade trying to act like he owns the fucking place, and then the Wi-Fi router was like the last goddamn straw. He's like, get out of my house, Dad!
What I don't get is why I can only assume that these parents are either Gen X or boomers, because a millennial having a 20-year-old kid at this point, it's not completely unlikely. Teen parents do exist, but also I'm just imagining the most realistic scenario. I don't get why Gen X and boomers have to feel like they are the alpha of everything, right? They have to big dick around as if they run the entire world. Again, like, and I've said this in an episode before, I think it was last week or the week before, Gen Z and Gen Alpha are fucking cooked. Like, we're just dead with how bad our attention span is.
I saw this great quote the other day. It's like, I had one shot left in my pistol, and before me stood an enemy and a traitor. So I spun around and shot my grandchild. Boomers.
Yeah, like, I don't get what it is. Like, I was literally scrolling through TikTok earlier today, and I saw a video. The dude's dad threw a pitch, and he hit it out of the park. He hit a home run. And then the very next pitch, the dad decided, oh, I'm gonna get back at him, and fucking hits him with the ball. On purpose. Like, you are not in control of everything.
You fucking psychopath!
Like, boomers and Gen X. I've shit on our generation and Gen Alpha already. I'm a shit on y'all now. Listen, you guys are not in control of everything. You do not own everything. You are not the alpha of the world. Guess what? If you are in somebody else's property, you abide by their rules. If someone does something better than you, you don't go out of your way to make them look or feel like shit, or, hell, try to injure them. Live with the fact...
God help this kid. if the situation were completely fucking reversed, I guarantee you he'd be miserable constantly.
Yeah, 100%.
It sounds like he already is. It sounds like he's already miserable based off of this context. And he's the guy, and he has the ability at any time to go, hey, motherfucker, I own the fucking place.
Well, the thing is, too, whenever you were reading it, he said that, and both his parents were like, that doesn't matter. We're your parents.
I am the man of the house. I'm like, you lost your house. What do you...
But yeah, anyway, very big, not the asshole. I really kind of feel for this guy. Like,
I mean, hell of a title.
I know.
All right. You got one?
Yeah. All right. So, actually, let me scroll. Oh, hey! Am I the asshole for kicking my broke parents out of the house? I found it. Hey! All right. None of these sound good.
If you can't find one, I've got one already lined up.
Nah, I got this. So we're gonna kind of stick with the same theme of parents.
Oh, no.
Kind of just inviting themselves into other people's apartments and then not wanting to leave. I don't know if that's the case yet, because I haven't started it. All right, from Substantial Shop 1685. Again, that is 100% a name that it's just given to you because you want to make an account to get validation from Reddit, of all places. Am I the asshole for asking my roommate's mom when she plans to end her stay with us after her apartment was flooded? So, my 21 female roommate's 22 female mother has been staying with us after there was a small flood in her apartment. Nothing was seriously damaged, especially since she had been home at the time and managed to mop up most of the water with towels and blankets. However, when it happened, my roommate told me her mom needs to stay with us a couple of nights while it was sorted. I was fine with a couple of nights as it was a bad thing that happened to her and she is my roommate's family and needed somewhere to stay. However, when her mom showed up, it always leads to some batshit crazy stuff whenever they say however. Her mom told me that her landlord had actually offered for her to stay at a hotel under his cost as the flooding was due to plumbing issues within the house. I was a little confused as to why she chose to stay in our little 2-bedroom apartment instead of a hotel, but I figured she may just want to be near her daughter with all the stress. It has not been a couple of nights. She is coming up to her 8th night of being here. Okay, I'm already starting to think this person's the asshole just from that. She has also been an incredibly rude house guest. I've made previous posts about this woman's behavior, actually. Oh, you're posting... I kind of want to go through and look at the other posts after this. Causing a lot of dishes and not cleaning them, taking long hot showers multiple times a day, leaving the heater on full blast, lounging around watching TV at times I would like to, constantly in the kitchen or bathroom when I need to be. Even when I need to get ready for work in the morning, almost every morning she is in the bathroom for 20 minutes during the times I need to be. Every time I ask her to get out, she says, I'll just be a few more minutes, and stays in there for a while longer. When my roommate and I go to work, she sits around in our apartment as she is unemployed, so she doesn't need to go to work. I have spoken to her about things several times, asked her to not be in the bathroom when I need to be, asked her to do the dishes, asked her to turn the heater off when it isn't necessary. We live in a very expensive city, so since my rent is already expensive, I don't exactly want a super high power bill either. She has also offered no kind of gesture of appreciation towards me. Am I the asshole for asking when she plans on leaving? Caleb?
Depends on how you asked, to be honest. Is it so Martha, when is the house gonna be opened back up? Or is it, hey bitch, when the fuck are you getting out of here? Because there's a very large
Okay, hang on. I wanna hold off our thoughts because there is a post from the same person about the roommate's mother from 108 days ago. This goes deep. And also, this person made a post on another roommate saying my roommate is driving me insane.
So she might be the problem.
So I want to I'm definitely going to read through the second I'm the asshole, technically the first, and kind of see how we can play it from there. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm on the fence, but this is going to be what'll actually get me off the fence here.
All right. This will be like, what?
All right, so 108 days ago, am I the asshole for asking my roommate to have her mom over less often? I, 21 female, have recently started renting a house with my friend, 22 female. This is my third year renting and her first time leaving home, where she lived in a small apartment with her mom where she didn't have Wi-Fi or modern TV or most modern technology.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we've been living in this house for a month and my roommate's mom has been coming over almost every night. Sometimes she will stay for an hour, sometimes 6. She helps herself to using all of our things, such as our Wi-Fi, smart TV, air fryer, our dishes, and leaving them in a mess for us to clean, etc. She has also been frequently bringing her boyfriend and sometimes even his friends. My roommate never tells me if they're coming over, and I often come home from work to find them in my living room. What's even more frustrating for me is I'd say about 80% of the things we have are actually mine, too. Things I gathered over the first 2 years I was renting, but I barely found time to use them as her mom and her boyfriend are using them at times when I would want to myself. I get trapped in conversation with her mom when I don't feel like talking to anyone and just want to chill every night I come home and they're there. I work long shifts, 10 to 12 hour days, and it is very frustrating when I have been looking forward to chilling and watching TV, but my roommate's mom and her boyfriend have their feet up on the coffee table watching TV with a plate full of food they cooked in the air fryer. Sometimes my roommate isn't even with them and it's just her mom. Am I the asshole for asking my roommate if she came over less? I'm not sure how to ask her without seeming insensitive. Her and her mom are very close as it has just been them most of their lives. I've been thinking about asking her if they could come over once or twice a week and spend the other nights at their place. Is that reasonable? Oh my god, I am off the fence now after hearing that explanation. Caleb, what do you think? Oh man, he's contemplating. Do you need me to go first so that way you can gather your thoughts more?
I think in this specific situation, yeah, she's kind of the asshole.
Ooh, we finally disagree on one. Tell me why you think she's the asshole. I wanna let you have a chance first.
It seems like she's the asshole because she says that she's addressing these problems, but one of the thing, but she's very vague about the way she's addressing these problems, and typically what that means, especially because she's a 22-year-old female, right?
Mm-hmm.
She probably is just saying something in passing as something's going through, and that goes over people's heads because they're not constantly reading your mind and whatnot.
Yeah.
I feel like this person is kind of the asshole because they're sitting there and they're stewing in all of this shit, and then they're blowing up, and then to all the other people, they're like, "Where the hell is this coming from?"
Okay, I can see that take.
It's like I feel like this is a communication issue between her literally from her not wanting to be the asshole. She's eventually twisting she's eventually getting her temper more and more compressed until eventually she blows up and now she's the asshole.
Mm-hmm. So I think she is not the asshole. Okay. Now, I do agree with what you said. She's very vague on saying, hey, this is what I've communicated with them. So I will agree there is a huge communication issue and they need to sit down, talk about it, set boundaries. But in this case, if you're moving in with someone and they're inviting over their parents or their mom, the mom's boyfriend, and then the mom's boyfriend bringing over their friends.
Yeah, that's kind of a big move.
At that point, it's like, okay, listen, this is our space. Like, obviously, it's not going to be a situation where you should say, oh, well, your mom's not allowed to come over anymore. That's excessive. Unlike the last guy where the parents legit tried to take control of everything, this one is...
Sounds like the mom just kind of hanging out, doing her thing, and then she breaks like one of the roommates' silent rules, and the roommate's like, "Go."
Yeah, so again, I agree with you on that, but it's like, okay, so you're going to come over every night. Sometimes the roommate's not even going to be there. The mom is just going to be there. I will say, if I came home, Summer was gone, and one of her friends was just in the living room, I would look at them and be like, why the fuck are you here?
Marsh.
No, we don't talk to Marsh anymore. I loved Marsh on everything.
But still, didn't she pull one of those, by the way? Just kind of showed up randomly, and you're like, oh, hi.
No.
Oh.
Or if it did happen, I repressed that memory so much. But yeah, no, like, so if Summer's friend Lavender, I'm going to name drop here.
Fuck you, Lavender.
Fuck you, Lavender. You always squeeze my titties whenever you see me.
Like the video of you hate Lavender.
All right, anyway, so like if Lavender were here and Summer were gone, I would be so confused. Obviously, it's not that I don't want Lavender here, but it's the fact that now all of a sudden I'm coming home expecting to see my fiance and spend time with her, and instead I get to come home, see her best friend, which now makes my, after work process a little more awkward because I typically shower. Like, I will shower with other people in the apartment, but I am just very weird in the fact that it's like, oh man, they're in the other room. I can lock this door, but I'm naked. Anyway, so there's
that person, and I would walk up and just start pounding on the door and then running away.
Yeah, assholes. Maybe you're the reason that I have that fear. This might be your fault. But yeah, so again, if Lavender were here and Summer were gone, I would be confused. Two, again, just gonna kind of use Lavender as an example. Summer and Lavender are best friends. They will hang out any chance that they get. If it wound up being a situation to where it was either Lavender was over here every night or Summer was over at Lavender's every night, I would like to have some alone time. Again, they're roommates, so I can't really say this in the aspect of just roommates, but like, I would like to have some alone time with my fiance. And also, if I were just a roommate with someone, I would just straight up like some alone time. I wouldn't want to always have to come home and just expect that my roommate's mother, her boyfriend, and their friends are potentially there. Like, especially working 10 to 12 hour jobs. I don't know what kind of job they work. I work a customer service job. At the end of most days, I am ready to beat the shit out of somebody. So I don't want to see people, right? I don't want to see anybody. So again, if it were just a situation where they were there every night, they were there without the roommate, I would be pissed. So I think this person is not the asshole. Yeah. What do you think of that? Yeah.
Good points.
All right. Your turn.
Am I the asshole for not bringing 40 raw eggs on a plane? I have Teeny.
Asshole.
How could you?
I gotta hear this. 40 eggs on a plane. For not bringing 40 eggs on a plane, I guess I should say.
I, female, 15, have a dad, 42, that lives in a different state than my mother and I. I get into constant fights with my father, so I don't visit him often. And when I do visit, it is very brief. Today, the fight was about chicken eggs. You see, my father has chickens in his backyards. We're not farmers or anything. He just likes having chickens. These chickens are bred to lay eggs, and oh boy, are they good at their job. In fact, they are so good, my father had about 40 spare eggs just lying around. Sounds like my mom. Earlier this morning, my father asked me if I wanted to bring a bag of eggs to my grandparents' house for Easter, and I responded with a no. So what does he do? He cleans all the eggs, wraps them up in bubble wrap, and puts them in a bag. The time comes for me to leave to the airport, and it gives me this bag of 40 freaking raw eggs. I laugh, and he yells at me at me, telling me to bring the eggs on the plane. And again, I say no. We fight back and forth until my stepmom chimed in, siding with me, saying that it was ridiculous for me to do what my father was asking me to do. He then stormed off. I do not think I am the asshole, but I just wanted some outside opinions.
What the fuck?
You dare reject my 40 raw eggs? Smite!
So, first of all, would 40 raw eggs even pass TSA?
Yes, you are allowed to bring food onto planes.
Okay, so that base is covered. Oh my god, what the... Okay, so I'm just trying to think about this here. First of all, you don't have a good relationship with your dad, but he loves you enough to give you just 40 fucking eggs out of nowhere. But also, what normal person is just like, here's 40 eggs?
My mom?
I mean, okay, I haven't been offered eggs, though.
You haven't asked.
You hear that, Emmy? If you're listening to this, I want eggs.
Not her government name.
Next time I come up there to visit, I want some fucking eggs. And if I don't get eggs, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
She gave me for the trip back. She was literally the last visit before we headed down, right? She gave me, and I'm not exaggerating, 84 chicken eggs. I ate all of them. So
I mean, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that the egg thing, offering the eggs, is the worst thing that could happen. Like, eggs are fucking expensive for no goddamn reason. Especially if this person's dad has such efficient chickens, there's no reason I should be paying for $4 for a dozen whenever I go get groceries.
Not to mention, this was 22 days ago.
Oh my god, this was so recent. Alright, so... where the fuck did I get an e-statement from my bank? What the hell? Anyway, I don't know how to judge whether this person's the asshole or not, because it's like, okay, are they refusing the eggs because they hate their dad, or are they refusing the eggs because the last thing they want to have to take on an airplane is 40 fucking eggs and then have the risk of the eggs just busting all over their luggage? You know how airports treat luggage. They're gonna throw it around no matter what's inside there.
Yep.
I'm gonna say not the asshole, but this was hilarious to listen to. What do you think?
I don't think she's the asshole. Like, it's funny. It's really fucking funny. It would probably hurt my feelings if I offered somebody 40 eggs and they said no. But still, you know.
Yeah.
Why not 48? So it's actually a dozen. I love how he put it all in a bag too. Bubble wrap, bag, egg. The least efficient way to store eggs, and that's what you did.
Yeah. All right. So, here's the next one. So this is from Road Separate 3324.
Ah.
Am I the asshole for putting a lock on my bedroom door? My 15-year-old son has been consistently stealing from me for over a year now. First it was things like chocolate and sweets that were left in my bedroom, then moved on to money, electronics, and anything that takes his fancy. I started hiding my cash in my underwear drawer, but that hasn't stopped him from rummaging through my personal belongings to take what he wants. We have had so many conversations with him now about how it is wrong to steal and that we work really hard for our belongings. We have always said that if he wants something, he only has to ask. He has his own money and gets a regular allowance. He has no diagnosis or behavioral problems at school. Going through my underwear drawer was the last straw. The kid definitely found the mom's dildo. He's a 15-year-old. He's a 50-year-old boy, and I'm his mum. He spelled it mum. So this is 100% a British dildo.
Asshole. British.
So I'm putting a lock on my bedroom door. Am I the asshole? Edit. There's an edit after this. Sorry, when I say electronics, I mean things like headphones, wired cheap ones that come free with iPhone, etc. An old unused and an old unused phone when his has been taken away, an old games console, and he still has them, so is not selling them / giving them away. Okay, you need to learn how to type. We have spoken with the school, who said there are no problems there, and a GP who said that it is not serious enough for a therapy referral, as he is not causing physical harm or breaking the law, as he is not stealing from anyone else, shops, etc. Here's what needs to happen. First of all, not the asshole for wanting to put a lock on your door. I think it's normal to have a lock on a bedroom door.
I'm just thinking about what I would do if my son kept stealing from my wife.
You need to teach this little shit the hard way to not steal again. Next time, no, don't smack him. I'm gonna tell y'all how to wire a booby trap to that drawer. So, I'm assuming this is in Britain, so guns aren't allowed, but you know what is allowed? Knives. So you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna set up an Indiana Jones style trap in your bedroom. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put a tripwire at the door. The first tripwire is just gonna shoot some blow darts, just some blow darts. So,
yes, of course.
So that tripwire, if he doesn't get the message to stay the fuck out of your room at that point, he's just being stupid. Put all the valuables in one drawer. Whether you want it to be your underwear drawer or not, I would suggest getting a separate shelf that you put the items in so you aren't tearing your fucking head off whenever you're trying to get some panties. So, here's what you do. You put all the important stuff in that drawer, and then you have to figure out how to make it to where you know how you can open it without the tripwire going off. But as soon as that tripwire opens, it's gonna shoot knives into his back. Alright? This little shit's gotta fucking learn. I don't give a shit if CPS gets involved, fuck CPS. Kids deserve it sometimes. You're gonna teach this little shit. I don't know if boarding school or boys' homes are a thing in the UK, because this is an actual answer. Get that dude put into a boarding school or boys' home, because guess what? They'll learn real quick not to do shit there.
Put him in a Catholic school. That way he can get his ass beat by some nun with a fucking ruler.
You stole from your mother's panty drawer again! Confess your sins to God!
And who's we? Who's we have talked to my son? Does that mean his dad is also there and not beating his ass for this?
I guess so. Oh my god.
Common British L for putting up with that bullshit.
But yeah, serious answer. You're not the asshole for locking your door. Your son is the asshole, and if he tries to pull that shit after he moves out, he's gonna be in for some trouble. This was an hour ago, by the way. All right, Caleb. Go ahead and round us off with one more.
One more? Okay. Let's see. Oh my god.
What?
Hold on. Oh, fucking repeats? What? Okay. Am I the ass by stepmom 0101?
Ah.
Am I the asshole for, quote, abandoning my stepdaughter?
Ah, yes, I think the name fits the title here.
Abandoned.
All right, let's see what kind of abandonment they're talking about first.
Hello, all. Oh, they're already the asshole.
Yep, already if you started off with hello, all, you're trying to get sympathy points at that point.
I, a 43-year-old female, have been married to my husband George, 45 male, for about a year now, and it's been wonderful. Except for one thing, his daughter Rachel, 15 female, can't stand me. Quit mewing!
Sorry, continue.
Walk in, damn it!
Okay, I'll walk in.
Ever since we got married, George has been pushing family trips and quality time between me and Rachel. I have no problem with it on paper, but Rachel does. George and Rachel have gotten into many an argument over the fact that Rachel doesn't like me or want a relationship with me. Rachel says I'm not her mom, will never be, and that she won't pretend I am. I have been conflicted on what to do. On one hand, George is Rachel's parent, not me, so I don't really get a say in what rules he puts on her. On the other hand, I hate seeing Rachel so miserable every time we go out on a girls' trip or are sent for bonding time by George. So I made a decision. I sat George down and explained I wasn't comfortable with these family trips anymore. I explained that Rachel would always have a place in our home. This is where her dad lives, after all. She belongs here as much as I do. And that, of course, I'd be there if she asked to spend time together, needed something, or if there was an emergency and I had to take care of her. But I wouldn't be going out on these outings anymore because I was uncomfortable with how upset they were making Rachel. George was pissed. He accused me of undermining his parenting decisions and abandoning Rachel by refusing to fight for our family. I replied that I wasn't part of Rachel's family. She doesn't like me. She made it clear that I'll never be her mother. So I didn't see the point on forcing her to have mommy-daughter spa days and whatever else with me against her will. George told me I needed to reevaluate my priorities if I wanted to stay together and accused me of wanting to cut his daughter out of our family before storming out. I'm gutted. Of course I don't want to cut Rachel out of our lives or family. She's George's daughter. I know she'll always come first to him, and I never want to sabotage their relationship or hurt her. But that's why I don't want to keep forcing a bond between us, because that's hurting her and putting a wedge between them. I don't know. Did I overstep? Am I really hurting Rachel or our family because I'm putting my foot down here? I love George, and I care about Rachel, so whatever the judgment is, I'll accept it. I just want to do what's best for everyone.
Okay. So whenever I heard the title, I was about to immediately say asshole, but this genuinely feels like she feels bad for placing herself in George's life and wants George and Rachel to still have a good relationship, and if that means that she can't hang out with them, then that's what she sees fit. I am going to say not the asshole, because this is genuinely someone trying to do something that they feel is best for the kid.
Continue.
Like, that would be if, again, name dropping, if I moved to Georgia and I wanted to put myself, like, right next door to your family, if I came over every fucking day and tried to force Leon to like me, like, if I tried to force your son to play with me, like, we're gonna learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, Leon. If I tried to do that and your son was like, I hate it, and you're like, well, he's pretty much family, of course I would be like, okay, obviously he doesn't like me coming over all the time. I'm not gonna stop talking to him, because the way she's making it sound, she still has every intention to try to get close with Rachel, but realizes that forcing herself into those family outings isn't the best way to do it. So if it were me, I wouldn't be trying to come over every day to see Leon. I'd let him ease into that, you know, uncle to nephew relationship over time. That's the way I look at it.
I don't think she's the asshole either, but we have an edit that I didn't see because I didn't scroll down all the way. Edit/update.
George broke up with me.
Yeah, they all hate me. I'm actually dying in a ditch right now. They fucking dumped me in the ditch. But okay, edit/update. A lot of you gave the advice that I should talk to Rachel so we can present a united front to George and show that neither of us wanted this. I sat Rachel down and gently broached the subject with her. I explained that she knew she wasn't looking for a mom, that she already had one, and that was okay. I told her that I didn't need her to see me as a mother or even like me. She was a smart and well-behaved kid and deserved to have a say in who she wants to have a relationship with. I told her that I was with her 100% in what she wanted, and that she could talk to and that we could talk to George together because I was going to follow her lead no matter what. Rachel got kind of quiet for a minute, and then her face just crumbled. She told me that she didn't hate me at all, that I was nice to her and seemed interested in her life. The real problem was, in her words, that she wished her parents were too. Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Oh no! So George is the asshole! Fuck you, George!
That kind of broke my heart. I had to try very hard not to tear up in front of her because this was the first time she'd opened up to me or given me any indication she even liked me at all. And I didn't want to ruin that by putting my emotions first. I did my best to comfort her, and I promised Rachel that I was here for her in any way she needed. I'm going to have to talk to George. First by myself. In quotation, in parentheses, Rachel is scared to talk to him. And then potentially to Rachel so she could speak for herself if George is receptive. I'm also going to put George to get therapy. Individual and also couples, potentially with Rachel too if she wants to. More than anything, I'll try to keep being there for Rachel. I know I'm not her mom, and I'm not expecting her to start acting like we're best friends. But I know that my efforts are appreciated by her, and that only makes me more determined to advocate for and support her however she's comfortable with. Holy shit!
Okay, so George is the asshole. She is 100% not the asshole. George, you little fuck, if you're listening to this, you are a piece of shit. You need to listen to your fucking daughter, and you also need to listen to the woman you're trying to go out with because she had some valid fucking points. George, you fucking cock. Alright? That poor kid.
Oh my, I just wish my parents were nice to me.
That is so heartbreaking to hear. Like, I don't even have kids. But if I had a kid and my kid said that about me, I would be reevaluating everything I've ever done in my life to that kid.
That reminds me of the one time where it was just this YouTube video about this dude who was an alcoholic, and he was like trying to he was fully recovered, but the thing that drove him over the edge to seek help was he overheard his kid talking to one of his friends. He's like, "I wish my dad was just a good guy." I was just like, "Oh my god."
Oh my god. Yeah, no, like, if your kid is saying, I wish my parents talked to me, I wish my parents liked me, I wish my parents listened to me, you are failing as a parent. Like, that is, like, I have no room to give parenting advice because I am not a parent, but if I had a kid that said any of those things about me, again, I would have to evaluate what I've been doing to my kid all these years. I'd have to evaluate what kind of person I am and how I present myself to my kid. Like, as a parent, your main job is your kid. That is your main job at that point. Everything else is off to the side. Your main priority is that kid. So if your kid's out here saying, I wish my parents liked me, you're failing as a parent.
Yeah. I wish my parents were nice to me. I'm here to support you and be there for you. I wish my parents did that for me.
Anyway, what a depressing way to round out the episode.
Nah, she got what she wanted. Rachel's opening up. The family is starting to heal. It's all on George now. Shit.
Oh no, George is gonna fuck everything up. He's gonna get pissed and break up with her and never let Rachel speak to her again.
I think what's gonna happen is George is probably gonna be angry for a couple of weeks, and then he'll slowly start to go meh. And then it'll start, and then it'll let it go. That's how grumpy 45-year-old men typically behave.
That's true. Well, thank you all for watching or / listening to this episode of Those Nerds on a Podcast. Let us know if you want us to do anything like this again in the future. I think this is kind of fun. I wouldn't want to do it like every week, but like once every 1 or 2 months wouldn't be bad.
Am I the asshole every week would be exhausting.
Oh yeah, no, I don't get how some people have just straight up podcasts dedicated to reading those. I could not do that every week. I could do it once a month and be happy. But anyway, yeah, let us know in the comments as well if you have any other suggestions of episodes you guys would like to see. We've got some ideas cooking in our heads after the podcast episode last week, but we're always open to more suggestions. So thank you all so much for watching, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Caleb, do you have any closing regards?
Read a fucking book.
I should go and read my fucking book while I'm at the gym doing my bike ride later. That's a great idea.
Just...
Well, yeah. Totally not on my phone or anything. Oh, hey.
okay.
Oh, it's 4:20. I didn't even realize. All right. See you guys.